guys, and again, sorry for the long intro, but I gotta just say the truth. My business was gone. I was teaching martial arts at a Boys and Girls Club. The pandemic hit, it shut that down. They didn't even give me my last check. Okay, now I gotta take the little I have left and make the most out of it. Now I'm eating different food from my mother, so I can't take my senior citizen mother, because I can't take her food. So I'm making sure I'm budgeting this thing out. When I got that phone call, I had no income coming, and I had 1 week's worth of food. And I'm thinking, I don't know what to, I guess I'm gonna lose a lot of weight, I'm thinking at that point, because I'm not gonna be able to eat. Anyhow, so as it turned out, I got the phone call, and in the middle of the conversation, I told these guys, I'm in. I'm in. They said something to me, and to me, it was like an angel coming in at the right time. Guys, I apologize, you never hear me only get like this, but it's the truth. But it changed my life. Because of this, I've been able to take care of my mother's bills now. And in 10 weeks, has only been, on the 29th of July will be 3 months. It went from my side hustle to my main business. And my main business is not an easy one, because I have 4 children that are very young, and one's going to college now. So the expenses are quite a bit more than the average so-called person. Anyhow, a few weeks ago, 6 weeks to be exact, I said, you know what? I'm not exactly sure how it happened, but I got a text or a message from Facebook from a person who I met way back in 1993, and all of us did not look the same. I took some pictures to prove. Sorry about that. Trying to get it to the right spot. At the right time. Guys, I apologize. You never hear me only. So the expenses are quite a bit more than the average so-called person. Anyhow, a few weeks ago, 6 weeks to be exact, I said, you know what? I'm not exactly sure how it happened, but I got a text or a message from Facebook from a person who I met way back in 1993, and all of us did not look the same. I took some pictures to prove it. You can hear the audio, but you can't see the video, right? But it doesn't matter, you're driving.
I can hear it.
Yeah, that's good enough. All right, so I'm going to let it go for a little while longer, because she's going to talk. Well, I'm not sure what the case may be.
Okay.
When Simone Hopkins contacted me, I said to her, this is what I'm doing. And I'm not sure if it was a before and after shot. But anyway, without further ado, I want you guys to know that this is from the UK all the way to, I'm in Florida, by the way. I'm in Florida, because it doesn't matter where I live right now, I can still do my business. That's the best part. And Simone Hopkins, and that's the world champion over there on that side too, man, Ricky. Guys, miss, I want to thank you for believing in me, at least trusting me to try it. So we had that. What was it that made you reach out to me?
I've just been struggling really with weight over the last 3 years in particular. I've been spending a lot of time on my business, which again is.
I knew you were going to love the accent. I knew you were going to love the accent.
Martial arts. And because I've been building my business, I've been neglecting my own health, you know. And so you know, I put on a lot of weight. I wasn't happy. It was getting to the point where I was having knee problems, which I'd never had in my life. Ricky's actually a graduate sports therapist, and he was constantly having to treat me for different injuries. And I knew the bottom line was it was my weight. You know, it was my weight. I've been struggling with asthma, which has got worse over the last few years. And yeah, we hit a pandemic, and I had to suddenly then pivot my business to teaching online. Well, I can tell you those first 3 weeks of teaching online, I was doing pretty much all of it. And I was finding it hard because of the extra weight, you know. Usually I'm in class and I've got different people helping, and I delegate like we all do because we have to. And I didn't have that opportunity anymore. So I'm like, you know, training every day, teaching more than I normally would to serve my members. And I was really, really struggling, you know. And it was funny because initially the weight started to drop a little bit, you know, just from the exercise. But then it just stopped. And I was like,
hello?
How You know, I'm training hard, and
Hold
I've hit
on, I got
the
another.
plateau,
Yeah,
and I
this
was
guy's
eating
calling me
pretty
now.
good as well. And
Nah, man,
I'd
let me
see
go.
how much.
You okay?
Nah, yeah, just one of my friends. He's an insistent Italian who, if I don't pick up, he calls me like 20 times. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore him. I'll call him later.
So what I did was I got up this morning and you saw how she lost all this weight. And I'm like, wow. He got me all excited, you know, 28 pounds or 2 stones. She said that yesterday, and she's had a whole bunch of people ask her, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And she didn't want to expose anything. I guess she had a certain number. So when I saw her do before and after shots today, or before and during shots, I was like, oh my God. Now, of course, you was interacting in that group there, so you thanked her, congratulated her, asked her, you know, if she had a little time. So I figured, let me document this, right? Because this just happened, might as well get her at her emotional high. This turned out to be almost an hour of this. So I can have a lot of sound bites out of there, similar to what we're gonna have with yours and I. And it just got me emotional because when I looked at her list today, there was about 8 women. Please let us know what it is. So what she did was she reached out to me. She says, what do I do now? And I'm thinking, wow, you know what? Regardless of what we are, black belts here and there, we still need to be taught. New industry, similar or different, and I have no problem with that at all. But I said, but instead of me just teaching her, let me document it, because other people might benefit from the process, you know?
I'm listening. I gotta go get something, okay?
Yeah, no problem. Big difference between me now and years ago, you know, right? A little more mature. By the way, and that's what I mean. So we got a chance to, like right now, I'm recording this video, right? And we take this as a lesson. And I see the lovely sky in the background. You being, you know, smart using your mask, but of course you're not using your mask when you're in your car. So we live in a whole new world. I'm in Florida. Here you are in New Jersey, I would assume, possibly. And we still get a chance to do a business, helping people. So she's a public speaker. And she knows a lot of other martial arts school owners that are going through the same madness worldwide. And what I told her to do, and again, in the UK, they don't have all the other benefits of other products. It seems like it's predominantly weight loss. Maybe Zang will get there soon. I'm not sure if that's the case, but all these women that are asking, and I counted 8. Like, in other words, if you don't tell me, we're going to beat you up, that type of stuff. So I'm like, come on already, let us know. So I told her, speak to them one-on-one. And in terms of what to do, you're already developing it. You just lost 28 pounds. You went and bought a package and you did this. Let them know exactly what you did. Let them duplicate what you did. But have a conversation with them first, because you want to know what their goals are. I was watching the training today, and in the training by Laura St. John, I think her name is, part of our Forever Black community, and I took some notes. And what she said, which was pretty interesting, actually, it wasn't, yeah, it might have been her. Anyway, it says you got to know people's needs, desires, and goals. So we ask them what's your needs, desires, and goals before they even become a client. And it becomes now like we're almost consultants in terms of health and fitness. We already do the fitness part with the martial arts. But this was interesting. That question, you know, in the first, you know, you ask them what's your needs, what's your desires, and what's your goals. Actually, this wasn't from Laura St. John. This was from Lindsay Hofbaumer, Hofbier, a star ambassador. Woman, she's been in the business for 7 years, and they had this weekend we had the launch of Isogenics 2.0. And I didn't watch the whole thing. So as I was watching a conference with 4 leaders, including Kathy Kova, I said, let me take some notes. And when I heard about needs, desires, and goals, I said, you know what, let me speak to Simone to find out what her needs and desires and goals are when it comes to this company. And her whole motivation is to lead by example. She loves helping people, very similar to us. But I did mention to her how a lot of times the leaders need help themselves. And congregating with people of similar mind makes things easier. We become better leaders. So this is an inner circle of leaders that just want to do better. And she got it 100%, you know, because of course she's one of us. That's why I came up with that whole concept of gatekeepers, and I explained that to her offline, you know, before I recorded. But then when I started hearing her talk, I was like, oh my God, I almost cried because she's saying how much better, not so much that she just feels, but it was connected to her psyche. Her son gets on, which, you know what, even better, what I'm gonna do, if you don't mind, I'm gonna continue playing that, because when he gets on, I was like, oh my God, these people are very conservative, to say the least. And to have, anyway, it's better to show you than to tell you, because I was editing this in real-time player to make it into sound bite. So you're gonna hear a little bit of her, and then he'll come in.
You'd lost, I kept commenting to Ricky about how much weight you'd lost, and I said, I need to find out what he's doing. And obviously you're somebody that I respect and trust, so I reached out to you, and yeah, you gave me the information, and I was like, do you know what, this is going to be worth every penny if it does what I want it to do. And you know, so far so good. You know, I'm 6 weeks in, and I'm 28 pounds lighter in 6 weeks, which for me is amazing. Ricky came in today, and we took a photo. I've got photos from at the start, and he was just saying how less bloated I look, and the fact that I'm not so bloated is it's changed my whole appearance. You know, I've dropped clothes size. I've got to go and buy some like in between clothes now, some cheap stuff, because I don't want to buy expensive clothes, because I've got another quite a lot more that I want to lose as well to get to where I want to be. So yeah, it's been life-changing for me, and my energy levels have just completely on another level. I always used to have an energy, I think I told you at the time, I have an energy drop around about 2-3 in the afternoon, where I could literally just sleep. You know, that isn't happening anymore, so I'm keeping going all day. My sleep's better. I remember you telling, because I said to you, man, don't you sleep? And you were like,
so I'll take a second. So there, I mean, since we live in during these times, we do have technology. We can use Zoom, right? We actually could do things like this. And this wasn't possible just a few months ago. People weren't receptive to what would be technology in the same manner. So to have Mullero around about doing his duties as a husband and business owner, at the same time, us recording here via Zoom. I'm in Florida, and he is in New Jersey, listening to a lady from the UK who's done some breakthroughs, you know, recently. You know, all these things to me are fascinating. So I just feel just incredible. Now, Mullero just logged off, not on purpose, of course. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this to see how it works.
and asking me, you know, what are you doing? What are you doing? So yeah, it's something that I've wanted to jump on board with.
This is really interesting, guys. Please understand this, that my buddy right there, Ricky, he doesn't like being in front of the camera normally. He's a behind the scenes guy, as handsome as he is, as talented as he is. But Ricky, honestly, can you share how do you feel right now in terms of what's happening with Mom?
Yeah, it's great. I was saying the other day, it's almost like everything's shrunk. So she was looking really bloated, not very healthy. We'd had a few conversations as well, just saying that obviously, you know, you're gonna need to sort this out for your health. You know, she couldn't carry on like the way she was. And that was just because of her business, getting on top of her and everything like that. And we were just sort of trying to get a plan together. You know, she's done it before anyway. She's good. She's done dieting before and everything. But yeah, it was just, she needed to do something quite drastic to get on top of it. And obviously it's been brilliant because it's changed her physical appearance, but it's also changed how, you know, how she is throughout the day. She's got more energy and stuff like that. And then physically she's getting benefits as well. And I think when she starts, because at the moment she hasn't really been doing any exercise with it as well, it's all been pretty much diet. So I think when she starts training as well, she'll notice the difference in her body from.
This is coming back, baby. You'll have seen this picture.
Oh, the barbarian, baby.
Yeah.
I was in that store.
I was pregnant with him. I was 6 weeks pregnant. This is coming back, you know. So strip this back and then start working to get that muscle there.
Hey, listen, so just to be fair and honest, when I went to the UK and did some seminars, I was a bit heavier than what I am now. And I remember people making references to how I was huffing and puffing. It wasn't a lie. During that time, I was training more than ever. I was training 3 times a day back home. And I was eating what I thought was the right thing, but my body wasn't responding. I'm like, what the heck is going on over there? I got so frustrated. So I said to myself, obviously, you don't know what you're doing. I was training as if I was young. Doing things as if I was young. So I was gaining muscle, but I wasn't losing the fat. So the scale kept going up and up and up. And I was like, how?
I also find that because how we used to be when we were younger, it was like 100 miles an hour, you know, and it's very hard to then get that balance of training enough, but not burning yourself out. And so every time I went to the gym or I was, you know, I'd get into a routine of doing something, I'd end up either ill or injured.
You'd overtrain.
I would overtrain, you know.
Injured. See what you just said right there? Guys, you're not alone. If you try to make up time, you figure, well, I'm going to do double time. And before you know it, your body's hurting so much, your joints in particular, knees, ankles, backs, hips, sometimes elbows and shoulders at the same time, or a combination of all 3. And what it really is that you have to work according to your age. Age-specific exercises make a world of a difference, guys. And I thought my ego said, you're going to tell me how to work out. I know how to do this thing. I know how to train you. But when my age changed, I'm 54. And people are getting confused. Michael J. White did a video, and he said in the video that he said he's confused when I put videos. He's not sure if it's from today or in the 90s. My son said to me when he saw me, he said, oh my God, that's my dad. Meaning there was an imposter for the last decade and a half. And it wasn't for the lack of training. It was training wrong and not nourishing my body, but more importantly, resting. But you can't rest when you have all these pressures and things that are happening. So you have to, you know, bottom line is that we need to recuperate. And now when your body gets what it needs, it gets a chance to reset itself and function. Now you have mentioned a major goal for me, for yourself, I should say. And the goal you mentioned was like, man, I'm not sure if it was 60 pounds or what it was, but I was like, I know that you would, off the bat, I knew that you was going to be able to do it. We're competitors. However, what really gave me the confidence was that I already had money. Because I can't recommend something to anybody unless I know firsthand. Because I've done already enough things in my life to damage my own reputation based on things I've done. I don't want to do it and dive into somebody else's reputation or waste their time and money. So did you find that similar? Because I know that you started losing weight, but you didn't tell anybody the secret until, not even now, you still have it.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was something, you know, I thought if this works for me, then it can help my friends, it can help other people. But I needed to know that it was going to work, you know. I'd seen it work with you, and I was like, I knew that if I committed to it and I invested in it, that I would stick to it, you know. I think sometimes it has to be that way, you know, because everyone can say, oh yeah, well you can just go and eat this, but you don't. You know, people go, yeah, well I could just live on salad, but they don't, do they? you know. So what the best bit about this is I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat apart from one meal 6 days a week, you know. And to be fair, I'm eating the same thing pretty much every day. I never used to eat fish. I was very rarely eating vegetables, and that's what I eat every day now is fish and vegetables. So that meal that I'm eating is very, very good nutritionally, you know. So I'm actually putting better things into my body than I was. So, you know, my issues were grabbing food on the go. I teach in different locations, so I'd be in the office half the day. We got a supermarket across the road. I'd go over there and grab a sandwich and, you know, chips and stuff like that. You know, just what I could while I was working, or I'd be grabbing food on the go. Or, you know, the worst thing, I would come home late at night. You know, get back in from teaching at like 9 p.m. and then I'd be hungry then and would eat then. Also, you know, I was a door supervisor for a while, so I was with.
Anyway, so this obviously is Simone speaking about her journey with the weight loss. And then later on in the video, what she starts sharing was kind of cool because as you heard her son, he mentioned how her whole demeanor changed. I'm not going to attest to that. You know, when your energy level is just down or you're going to die, you want to kill somebody because you're hangry. So angry in the word diet, because they mentioned, it kept saying die. Every time they kept saying die, I'm saying someone's going to die or someone's going to die. Either I'm going to kill somebody or I feel like I'm dying. But lifestyle is something different. And of course, you have to be losing weight. That's not what this is about, right? Because Isogenics has products that will increase muscle mass. And that's my goal. My goal is to transform my body. It's not just to lose weight, but I want to lose fat. I want to burn fat, gain muscle, transform my body. And because of this, I can honestly say that I can take care of some bills that I couldn't do before. And so later on in the video, we also speak about how many martial arts instructors are going through the transition and the fear factor is still through the roof. But now at least it gives us a little option to be able to be consistent with our values in terms of health, but also not just worry about the fitness part. So I've said this before, we help people get their stomach flat, pockets fat. And I really mean that. I can help as many people as possible get their stomach flat, because in the abdominal section, that's where a lot of the illness comes in. That's where the visible fat is at. And that's where people have, that's where the prostate cancer and the colon cancer is happening, right in the digestive tract. I've been a big advocate towards nutrition for so many years. And of course, I wasn't, it wasn't that receptive years ago, and even in some circles now, it's not that easy. But people passing away, and like her and I did speak, it was based on the immune system being compromised and how having even the children have a better, I don't want to say diet, because it's not really diet, it's lifestyle. You change your lifestyle and things start to change also. But for me, it was so much easier to be able, like I mentioned, to just tell someone, take this and take that, and they call me. You know, almost like I prescribed as a doctor. So, you know, listening to some of these leaders of Isogenics is something that's huge, guys. I strongly suggest you go over to the website. I put the link down the bottom. There's a rebroadcast of this weekend's launch of 2.0. And 3 people who spoke besides Kathy Koval, who just wrote a book. And by the way, Kathy Koval's book, guys, I'll show you how to get it for free. Most of you who already have 2 customers, and if you got 2 customers again this month or last month, you're able to get this for free every month. And I shouldn't say that. When you got your first 2 customers, there's a $25 coupon there. And that $25 coupon is what I used to get not 1, but 2 of the books yesterday. And I just paid the difference with the shipping. But it would have been 100% free if I would have, you know, if I would have just got 1 book. Kathy Koval's book, and it's filled with a lot of things very similar to, she has her story, and from what I understand, they built 3 huge organizations, and then the companies did something like change the compensation plan, something that was drastic enough for them not to stay with the company. They might have been acquired by somebody else. finally, the last company that we're in, the third one, she built a really huge organization, and the company, I believe, closed. That might be the case. And it happened to me before. I've been involved in a direct sales company, and that happened. Businesses open and close all the time. But this time she said, you know what? Never again. I'm going to build the company, or we're going to build a company that we wanted to be part of. And that's why I suggest there's so many additional benefits. For example, when you get 2 customers all the time, that little package that was the, it was called Basic. I'm not even sure if it was Basic Pack or whatever. It's the essential oils. There's 3 of them. You can get that for free every month, not just one time, it's every month. If you get 5 customers, that means you get, instead of getting that, I got the cleanse. That's a weekly cleanse that comes in little tubes, individual separate tubes, and you get that plus one of the AMP products, which I think is I'm not even sure. But what I'm saying is that it's not just once; it's every month you get 2 customers. You get 5 customers, then you get the entire Nurtured by Nature. So when it comes down to it, both those packages at retail are $311. You get it for free just every month, just if you continue. That's a bonus. I didn't know that. Can't get mad. Absolutely, you can sell it or you can consume it. In my case, I'm consuming most of it because I do want to stay as healthy as possible. But I see that now you finished consuming some food, Mullero. If you're going to mute yourself, you want to add to it. And that's what I'm saying, guys. Listen, we are busy in life. So we get a chance to help each other on the move and still share things from the UK. It's not where you're confined to your quarters, guys. We work this as a team for real, for real. And there's no apologies needed. We'll do whatever it takes to make sure that collectively we become successful. So Mullero, what did you think about what you heard?
Well, I think that's fantastic. You know, I think that, first of all, Simone, just to hear her story and her testimony is just amazing. I can totally relate, you know, being a martial arts school owner and being as successful, running the school for 15 years on the Upper East Side in Spanish Harlem, you know, having all the staff that I had at one point and delegating, you know, and me sitting back, you know, or allowing me to actually compete in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as I've done and, you know, having that ability. You know, and that being taken away from me due to this pandemic, you know, and the potential loss of it. You know, I may unfortunately close my doors as of next month because of this situation, you know. It's nerve-wracking. It's an emotional roller coaster for us all. I can totally relate, you know, and like her, yeah, look, when we're going through, yeah, we're martial artists, yeah, we're leaders, right? I think you mentioned it earlier, but, and yes, we do know a lot. But often we need to be reminded, you know, of the things that we may or may not know, you know, and it takes people of the same mindset to help you do that. You know, so I appreciate you what you mentioned earlier. But as far as, you know, everything she shared, and it's an emotional roller coaster for us all. You know, being home, and all of a sudden, you know, I'm a proactive person. I have to stay busy. This is why I'm working in my yard. I'm building a pool today, and all due to the fact that I'm taking the isogenics. That's giving me that much energy, man. I have to tell you right now, I take it. I don't want to go off topic, but I take it and I sleep 6-7 hours, and I don't believe the amount of energy that I pull out. You know, considering, you know, I teach my classes online. I still stay as active as I can via my workouts for myself. Granted, it's not at the level where I was, but still, you know, I'm doing my garden. I've been building. I'm a carpenter all of a sudden. You know, I did my gardening. You know, I did my table. I was gonna go buy a table. I'm like, wait a minute, why? I can build this. You know, and now all of a sudden I'm building my pool. You know, a little pool area, like digging and grinding, and I'm sweating, and I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. And my motivation is that guy that's out in like Thailand who uses a little stick. he builds a whole freaking.
Oh my God, I love that video.
He builds a whole freaking city. You know, like, what's my excuse? And I have all the tools in the world. Come on, Malaka, Greek for jerk.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, get back to her. You know what she's saying. You know, we go through this emotional roller coaster, unfortunately, because of the turmoil that we're all in. And yeah, with that, unfortunately, comes eating a lot, comes gaining weight, comes a lot of stuff, comes a lot of stress. And we don't know how to, I guess, channel that, during this time. I've learned to stay busy and keep myself active. But if it wasn't for you introducing me to this, I have to say, it has definitely been very beneficial for me. Like I said,
it's us, right? Because I shared it, but you trusted, accepted it, gave it a shot.
Well, let me say something about you, Fontanez. You have been always one of my awesome mentors. You've been a guy that when the first day you stepped into my Taekwondo school way back when, 1991 or two, and you saw how I taught, and then you gave me the motivation to join your organization, and it was like it was a no-brainer. 5-time world karate champion. I'm just starting out in my business. Here you are asking me if I would want to join your organization. Of course, that's why I jumped on it. And because you were the one Latino like me, two already successful as to where I wanted to be. I already saw where I wanted to be in you, and I needed something in me that just, triggered. That's what I need to emulate. That's what I need to be around. Like you said, birds of a feather flock together, right? So we all need to be that person or immerse ourselves with those individuals. And so now in seeing you with this and the transition, obviously, being like a career martial artist yourself, right? And now transitioning, but not so different because, martial arts, you're still physical, you're still helping, you're still, training and teaching. But from this perspective, ideally, the goal is very similar. The goal is to save lives. The goal is to help people stay healthy, And I also see it as there is no difference in the type of business that we run. Our goal is membership, to build membership, to build numbers, to help the business. And our goal should be here the same. We want members of the same to benefit the way we are, And so therefore, in seeing you doing the workouts that you did and the videos and, oh, look, he still has his stretch. That's awesome. He's still consistent with that, and still the B-boy thing and the breakdancing and, being 54 and just seeing how active you've been, And I've defended you, bro. People have said nonsense, but I like old blue eyes. You kill them with success. You don't go back. You don't fight with words. You just do you. You do your very best, and you just stay positive. Because haters, as they say, haters are gonna hate, and they're all gonna say nonsense, which is unfortunate. But as you said previously in your other messages, hey, we all make mistakes, and we all live from them. No one's perfect, and I definitely can contest that you are a person that have definitely persevered. And that you always had good intentions, although you might have been blinded a little, but you're not that man anymore because of the maturity factor. And so in seeing you get involved in this, and not so much that you're trying to advocate for people to get involved to make money so much, but because you are invested on physical, mental, and spiritual level. Your testimony has been that you've lost people. Just recently this year, 5 people died in a week, due to obesity, cancer, cuanta madre, as we say in Spanish, so many things. And it's sad, it's sad that people don't take the initiative to understand the concepts of where they should be via health and wealth and everything else. These are very most important topics, that are negated. Are taken for granted rather, and it just can't. We're living in a time that we can't do that. Hence why I'm growing my own fruits and vegetables in my backyard. I think ideally that I'm out, I'm eating stuff, but I'm careful as what I eat. I don't eat a lot. I don't overindulge in food. Like I ate that, but I ate half of it. Everything is portion based for me right now, being the agent I am and the athlete that I still believe that I am. And I will return to the ring. Yeah, your testimony, it's definitely proof that, you're not telling people what to do, you're showing them, and you're being an example. And then that's my goal. I was 230, and I'm currently 205, so I weighed myself this morning because I did another workout. And here I am in my yard, and I'm making my runs with my dogs, and, I'm doing a lot of other things, so I stay consistent. But yeah, look, I'm dropping the weight, more so every day. and I'm content. And because of that, I believe in this product. I believe that these products are definitely beneficial. And what, we've talked about this. Every day people give referrals. Every day. Like I saw something online. Oh, you have to go see XYZ. Oh, you have to go get XYZ. Wow, it's interesting. Everyone does that, but no one benefits from it. And I've done it for years. And I remember way back in 2004 or 3 when you tried to get me into like the whole network marketing. You gave me the books. You gave me shit. I'm like, ay, papa, Dios te hombre. Here we go with something else. And, I have to be honest. I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. I have to focus on what I'm doing. But I kicked myself in the butt because from that time till now, of course, it's obvious, referral based. Everything's referral based. I'm sitting in Paris Baguette, because people have suggested or, friends have said, oh, go there, have a great bakery. But who benefits from it? Paris Baguette. That movie's awesome. What a great movie. You got to go see it. Who benefits from it? The movie theaters, the actors, the producers, and all that. Here we are advocating that this is something good for you, and it's going to help you live a longer life. And in turn, because I'm giving you a referral, that'll be great. Look, I'm getting compensated on the side, a small percentage of it. I don't find anything wrong with that. I don't find anything wrong with that at all. And I would advocate that people should understand that concept and not take that for granted, because of the pandemic, I have my school, I may be closing, but you have mentioned that this was your side gig, now it's your full-time gig. And now I might have to consider, well, all right, there's some changes that need to come, and although I'm not at a level of where, because I'm just starting out, I've only been 2 months in almost. But it's cool to get that email on Monday. Oh, you just been paid with little to minimal amount of effort. But I think, so wait a minute. No, I'm great with my numbers. I'm great with building my numbers in school and showing my staff and teaching them how to, get the customers and members. I'm fantastic with that. However, wow, here I am. I have to put so much effort into getting that staff member to hit those quotas, right? Because I was general manager at Crunch too, and that was my job. I was in charge of $200,000, $300,000 a month. But now I'm doing it for me, right? At that level, right? But here I am now. I'm getting an email on Monday to little to no effort, minimum to no effort, and I'm getting email with 60, 100, 150, with no effort. Or because hey, just go to this website, get this product. This is what's benefiting me. Hopefully it'll benefit you, and share with a friend.
And if you don't like it,
get your money back. So, in closing, look, I love Simone's story. I think that we need to just keep building testimonies like that and helping people to understand where they're at. For me, I've been sold since, obviously it works. I can feel the difference, let me touch on another thing. Yeah, look, I know there are a lot of research buffs out there. I've tried to get friends of mine to adhere to what I'm doing. And they go out, they want the fact check, and this is great. The Bible talks about Bereans, and who are the original fact checkers. And I think ideally you should do that. But you're always going to find something. There's always going to be something, there's stuff on me online, I did an MMA fight thing on a show called The Iron Ring. And I got called out thinking that I was scared, but I twisted my ankle and they just made a whole different story, And so that's negative and it's under me, but that's what I get. I kick myself in the butt for being a part of that. But to make my point, when I tell people isogenics and this, that, and the other, oh, well, it's negative. There are a lot of bad reviews. I'm like, did you check the other reviews? Right? And so how you equate the two, right? Because really, if there are so many negatives, then definitely don't be a part of it. But if it's equal or a little bit more or imbalances, then you should at least investigate more before you invest. And I would encourage you to do that. So for all the fact checkers, do that. Investigate, but understand that it's just not, oh, well, it's all negative and, oh, it doesn't work. And it may or may not work for people. Maybe it's a psyche thing. Maybe they're getting the result, but they just don't see it because they're just they're extremists. and we're all made differently. You know, not everybody's made the same. You know, so you have to be very, very careful. You know, what benefits me may not benefit you. You know what? But I get that. But at least the goal is to at least attempt something instead of sitting there and pointing the finger and saying that this doesn't work. Because then what are you proving? You're not doing a damn thing. You're just sitting there, and you're still the same person.
But those are the same people that won't even, you know, they won't even put on cologne if you say this is good for you. You know, they'll find a way. Oh no, that's really water the toilet. But what do you think about this now?
Oh, it's great. I was going to ask you to send it to me so I could actually
Art of well-being. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I love it.
Art of well-being. Oh yeah, I'm gonna share all the information. So we're gonna officially end this now. For whatever it's worth, and I don't know if you're available, what I'm gonna do is in 10 minutes, I'm gonna see if someone wants to come on, and I do not want to make sure that we onboard people properly, you know, because she's a baby right now. She's not a white belt. She became an associate, and you know, she's excited, and I think it'll help if it's possible because you do have your wife over in South Korea right now. It kind of can make an international conversation. So even if it's just the three of us, it'll be. Matter of fact, you know what? I shouldn't even say that. If you want to continue, we can, because she could just come right. She could just chime on to here. I do want to ask you a few questions. And as you're speaking about your business and the turmoil it's going through, but I noticed a big smile on your face, which looks crazy, because I think you told me that you were on the conference call. Can you share how there was I'm not sure if it was a Zoom, but you mentioned that you was on the call and people were really negative in terms of the future, and these are martial arts school owners. It was kind of shocking when you told me that some of them were thinking about going.
Oh God, yeah. You're talking about guys who own businesses that they've had their businesses for over 25, 30 years, and they're talking about wanting to commit suicide, you know, which is very sad, you know, and that's just to show, like, you know, I guess one has to really take an evaluation as to how are they defined, what defines them. And these individuals, like me, you know, I love my business. I love what I do. I love the fact that I have the school and all, but every week I go visit it, you know, see it, maintain it, clean it out a little. And, you know, I have to be content, you know, being a Bible studious person that I am. You know, 1 Timothy 6:6 talks about being content in everything, you know, whether I have or have not. I'm paraphrasing. And so, fact of the matter is that, you know, these guys are now thinking about taking their lives, you know, because they've lost their businesses, and just, you know, really resorting to doing all sorts of unfortunate things, drinking alcohol, things that, you know, that I'm sure as martial artists, you know, being, you know, the core, living by the morals, the code,
they're out of character.
You know, all that gets, yeah, they're out of character. It gets thrown out of the window, and it's unfortunate to see that. You know, I guess I am smiling because I do see the potential that this business has for me. You know, I'm going to go in it. You know, I'm the type to just dive. You know, I don't like just touching the water. You know, I'll dive in and see. And if I failed, I failed because I failed on my own accord. I failed because of me.
I can give you some insights that almost have me. Like, you know, guys, you guys all know, or many of you know, I should say, I apologize if they all know. Many people know that I've been sharing information for decades. And when technology kicked in, meaning YouTube and what have you, my first video is November 25th, 2008 on YouTube. And it looks something like this. Hi, my name is Jerry Thompson, and I'm here to, and I was nervous. Then I remember, hey, wait a second, you had your own reality show. Well, you know how to do this, not reality show, your own public access TV show, so you know how to do this thing. But, so for an easy over 10 years, I've been saying pretty much the same thing, guys. And even before the videos, you gotta watch what you eat, because if you don't take care of the inside, how can the outside perform? And I gotta give credit to Time of the Last Dragon, who was the first person who really got me into nutrition. And I'm like, I'm eating my hot dogs. He says, do you know they allow rat feces in hot dogs? I was like, what?
Yeah.
I thought he was lying. Then I looked it up. And I said, how could that be? Wait a minute, what are you talking about? So they opened up a whole can of worms for me. And I got into Die for New America by John Robbins, who was the Baskin Robbins descendant that did not take any monies because of what they had done, not so much just to the body, but to the environment. If you watch documentaries like What the Health, you know,
forks and something, right? Forks and knives.
Forks and knives, or forks over knives. And then you also watch, from an athlete standpoint, I was like, wow, when you watch The Game Changers. But these are things that people have been watching on Netflix. It's better than binging on other stuff. So I get it. Like I always tell people, nobody ate more meat than me. I'm an eater, as some of you guys well know. I eat the whole thing. You take me to all you can eat and try to take me out. I try to eat it all. And
yeah, remember the sushi days? Oh my God, you could eat. God. I'm like, how can you keep going, dude? Stop.
I love to eat. That's also why I love to cook. I love to cook because I'm going to eat that thing. So even a hot dog, which most people were just boiled hot dogs, I hooked it up. And my friends laughed at me. Alex Martinez, he says, man, I remember when in high school you made 10 hot dogs and you gave me one. I love my hot dog. When I found that out, it messed me up. Then when I go back knowing that I was a sick child, 5 pneumonias by the age of 2, chronically asthmatic. And my first 2 birthdays were in Mount Sinai Hospital. So I'm thinking I'm going to be a martial arts champion. You know, as a little kid, got these pictures of me doing this. So I had to figure out superpowers. So one superpower would be I am in better health than these guys, you know. Another superpower was if I could be more cunning or intelligent, like Spider-Man, you know, these guys were scientists. And I know Mullero is making a little smile right there because we're both, you know, when it comes to superheroes and comic books and anime, more so with him with the anime, this is how we were able to escape as children living in the ghettos to go into a fantasy world. Where when I saw the movie Five Fingers of Death, all of a sudden we were playing cops and robbers and they were shooting at me, I was blocking with my iron fist. They were like, I shot you. Nah, man, I blocked it with my iron fist. And then we had these Chinese slippers that I almost killed myself with these Chinese slippers. They're not good for running. They may be good for the movies, and you may be okay on maybe on grass, but once you hit the concrete and that plastic, that rubber, holy smokes, when you were sliding, you know. All these fantasy things, and then wanting to be a leader, helping people, you know, being able to make a Shaolin temple. We all have all these crazy dreams. Watching the Kung Fu movies.
I actually got the opportunity to do that in Korea, going to the old temples. I have pictures, and the one thing it brought me back to was obviously Channel 5.
We gotta go.
Channel 5, right? Saturday, right, 3 p.m. All those Kung Fu flicks. I'm like, wow, I'm here. I made it. Because something that, you know, and for where we're from, we visualize. But then when it manifests itself, it's like, wow, it was my mind was blown. You know, it was blown. When I went into the old temples, like in Japan and Korea and China, it was just amazing.
What do you think now that Japan is opening with the business?
That's great because I have friends there and I want to start setting stuff out. You know?
And why do you just mentioned Korea? Right now, your wife is over in South Korea. And yes, we actually, because of you, I see that as a percentage of my business that's actually in South Korea. Right. I didn't go to South Korea. How do I have an international income? It's the business model that has been around for a long time. And just to be fair, you mentioned something earlier about network marketing or direct sales or referral marketing. And what it was 18 years ago, or even 20 years to now, is not even the same. This technology was not available back then. I couldn't just grab a logo. The art of well-being, I love that. You know, we are artists. You are artists when you're working on your body, you're working on your mind, and you're working on your goals. Most people that I know don't set goals every month any longer. unless they have businesses. But those monthly goals became weekly goals, became daily goals, became targets. And with this, I remember just a few days ago, I heard it in your voice. We were having a conversation that was being documented that you guys will see shortly, I'm sure. And we stood on a little longer, but you wanted to rush off because there was a contest. There was a contest, and in that contest, you wanted to make sure that you were able to leverage it as much as possible. So those of you who are competitors, you can really satisfy your competitive needs here because we are on a race to see who can help more people. That's the competition. Like in karate, when you take the karate, like I said, I wonder who is gonna let me help them today. I mean that for real, right? Yesterday it was 4 people, and one of them was Powerful Pexter from New York City Breakers. That was in the movie Beat Street. And I'm like, wow. Then I get that, and I wake up, and I knew that I was gonna be able to. I did not expect a doctor, Brian Crump, to call me last night. Hey, listen, tomorrow we could set that up. I'm like, what? Set what up? I didn't even know where it was because I didn't have his number. He called me on my mobile phone and it wasn't locked in. And I'm thinking, look at what I did. I gotta admit it, guys. I didn't know where it was, and I said, well, do me a favor. Send me your name, your phone number, your email, and your address so we can get you going tomorrow. And then after talking to him a while longer, I realized where it was. I'm not used to that. Very few people have my mobile number. And usually I can see when this what would be a possible, telemarketing call. Some people become ninjas. You speak to them today, oh yeah, and they're gonna talk a big deal game. I know 100 people, I this, that, and then they disappear. And out of nowhere, someone goes to your site and actually buys something. You're like, what the heck happened here? And you go, oh, thank you. And
Yeah.
From 3 weeks ago, let's talk about that emotional roller coaster ride that you've gone through already.
I mean, it's crazy because, again, it's like you're not, I don't know, it's like people are fickle, right? That's how we're made. We're fickle, and, for them to make a decision on things, it's just, okay, if it's something that's really bad, like I had someone just the other day, in fact, granted, I was able to convert him, but he had to really process it. So he goes, wait, let me get this straight. So if I buy the product, and then I take it, and then I become an associate, then there's a profit margin for me. Then. Yes, simple. I mean, and it all depends on what you do. It's very simple. You go to your site, you go and associate, whatever, and then you get this amount, but based on what you do, you have to tell people about it if you want to get paid, if you want your product to sell, and it's all health and wellness. It's nothing crazy. He goes, okay, let me think about it. And then another conversation. I'm like, yeah. So what was that again? It was like 4 conversations before I got the
Do you know why that is? You said it's not so much fickle, they're afraid. We live during times right now that there's a lot of games out there that I haven't seen, money games that people are doing. And I'm like, whoa. If someone's trying to sell you on earning money, and there's no product or service that's being rendered, that is not what you would consider anything legal. That's not marketing. That's illegal, and someone's going to get hurt in the sense of get caught holding the bag, so to speak. Somebody recently sent me this thing. It's called, it doesn't look exactly like this, but it's similar to this. It's flour. You start out on the outside, you pay $500, and then eventually you get the inside. Once you get to the inside, you're getting $500 per person. And I'm like, wait a second. What are you selling? No, it's just, don't you realize that's called illegal? You're playing a money game. You can't do that. And if you do it, it's a matter of time before people will get not just busted and go to jail, but will also lose some money and respect. And the guy who sent me this, I said, He responded, well, as long as I get my money. And do you know what I had to do?
Cut him off, I hope.
Unfriend him. I had to unfriend him. My mother would whip my rear if I hung out with people like that.
Yeah, no, that should never be the intention. That should never be the goal. You know, but again, there are people out there that are doing it. You know, because it's that one-time quickness that they want. You know, the riches quickly, and not understand that you have to invest. You know, more than just that. It's an investment of time, patience, right? Really being eager to want to help, right? Have good intentions. So that's going to bite you in the butt.
Yeah, but that's the part about this industry that really I had a hard time wrapping my brain around it. Because in order for me to get a key, I remember way back when, which was a lot of money, still a lot today, but way back when was a lot of money when I opened up Manhattan. I gave them $16,000 to get a key. Then I had to take that key and open up the place and turn on some lights. And then turn on the phone. And then get some heat or air conditioning, what have you. So they said to me, just spend a few $100s, you can make a lot of money. I'm like, get out of here, I'm not stupid. It made no sense to me. But knowing that it's about distribution, knowing about what would be marketing costs, people don't realize when you go to a store and you see something on a shelf, oh my God, you know how much money went towards product placement? When you see a movie and they decide to show this soda company as opposed to that soda company, they paid for that. People don't understand it. When the actor decides to have this coffee as opposed to that coffee, a lot of money was invested in that. People don't get it. The clothes they're wearing, they cost. So in the end of the video, you see all those credits, which basically means another form of advertising to let you know that this is the official car of 007 and the movie. So another thing, yeah, so I'm sure let's talk about this for a second. And I'm going to just turn on the light because I know that you know
you're breaking up.
Oh, that's because I'm in Florida. And it's hurricane season. So it's been raining here just about every day. It's been raining here about every day. And I know it's hurricane season out here soon. And the rain's been going crazy. But let's talk about some of that product placement that you might know about. Do you know? Are you aware of that?
I'm sorry, you broke up. I couldn't hear you.
So the question was product placement in movies.
Right.
Are you aware of that? Because a lot of people aren't. I'm sure you are.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I totally agree with you. I mean, and people remember I dabbled a lot in the whole entertainment industry as far as choreographing and stuff and acting and stuff and modeling. But yeah, no, I definitely get how if they want their product, because it's subliminal, all that. It's just to program the person till if they see it in the movie, oh, well, Captain America drinks Café Butelo. You know, well, Café Butelo have to pay a lot in order for them to actually get that exposure so that, you know, they get that ability to get more clientele, build their clientele base, so more customers, period.
Well, a referral-based business has profit margins because they give people commission. If you would add 100 people that got you one student and you paid them even half of the first month, how often you would have done that? Right? No brainer.
Business will be booming.
Yeah, and just to be fair, guys, the martial arts industry and the fitness industry is probably still booming. It's just booming online. If you look online, all of a sudden, people are working out with mirrors and soon to be holograms, and some of you guys might be in that. You know, some of us might do it too, because we're not going to lose out on that. But to have to worry about it day in, day out, in my case, now when I teach a class, it's because I get a chance to work out and get paid, but that's not my main hustle. That's switched up to the opposite side. Now, the funny thing about it, we just mentioned about other countries. When you start earning more money in other countries than you do in the United States, that's possible. When a country like Germany just launching now, France is just launching now, and there's a list of other ones that are just launching now.
Germany, we got Germany. Oh, it's done. I gotta send out because living there 2 years, I want to see who I can get now. Ooh, I didn't know Germany was on the list.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. So Germany's on the list, and since it's a binary program, there's a possibility when that launches and keep going, you earn more money there than you will in the United States, just based on the commissions of
The difference, right?
yeah. But I'm saying just the fact because this is a binary program and we get paid every single leg when you go what would be 600 and 300, it doesn't matter where they're at. You have the international program, which my girlfriend just did hers today because Simone just joined today in the business. She was a customer for 6 weeks beforehand. In your case, you didn't take 6 weeks, it took about 3 days. But the text that you sent me was an interesting one. It had never happened to me before. And the question was, when can I join? I'm like, how about now? You know, and of course, you was busy, so we did it the following day, but that's not normal. What normal is people disappearing. No. I can't afford it. And then you go online and you see how they just bought something that's gonna kill them.
Sad. That is so unfortunately true. Oh, the irony in that, right? Here you are. You're hey, look, this is like $5, and it's gonna help you. Oh, but wait a minute. You just spent how much? $80 on what? Wow. Oh, don't judge me.
I have a guy who said to me, he said to me, and guys, I'm just sharing a testimonial that might be maybe off the cuff a little, but we'll keep it professional. Guy contacted me. He says, I'm having problem basically with my libido. I need something that will help me. And I said to him, this will help you. He said, no. You didn't hear what I said. I said, listen, there's a good possibility that your gut is big. That means there's a good possibility that you're not in the best fitness shape. That means that you have less blood flow throughout your body. If your waist is big, that means that you're also at risk because you're in your 50s. And people in our group, and at the time I couldn't attest to it because I was in New York and my girlfriend was here in Florida, but they attest to that. They're feeling young again, and it can help you, or it has helped them. No complaints from girlfriends and wives. So he says to me, oh man, that looks expensive. Like, what? So then I said, okay, well, if you can't afford less than $6 a day, I understand. And he said, no, I'll try. I said, listen, if you don't like it, get your money back. Regardless, I shared it with you, and it's up to you. Allá tú. So he got the package, and I texted him, hey, did you get it? Yeah, I got it. Did you try it? No, but I come back from vacation. What? So he went on this vacation. Now when he comes back, I say, all right, did you try it? No. Tomorrow.
Dios mío.
Tomorrow.
Increíble esta gente.
Now, mind you, when you got yours, I told you, this is what you do. Get 2 pills today, take a shake. That's it. And tomorrow you start with what will be tomorrow, but you do it now. But we're not the average person, guys. 80% of the people look about the same. 40%, I should say 20% is different. These 80%ers don't even want them near them. So what happens is that if you lose all these fingers, 80%, you're good. If you lose these, you're screwed. You need the thumbs. We're the thumb, but not only the thumb. Amongst the 20%, there's the 4%ers. And those people there are the movers and shakers at a whole other level. So I don't blame these people for judging us. I don't even blame these people for judging us. Because excusitis is the #1 killer of dreams worldwide. Excusitis has caused more people to physically die worldwide. Excusitis is something that you must get out your system as fast as possible because you will get If misery loves company, put an excuse. People told me, you know, do that, you know, after the pandemic. Okay, I'm thinking, but my story is that during the pandemic, when the world was changing and you wasn't allowed to go outside, I stood inside and did not binge on Netflix. I stood inside and did not get into arguments with people via any social media. What I did was I minded my business. And while minding my business from a room in the Bronx, it hit me that I can finally take this room that used to be in the projects in the South Bronx, since the Bronx now is known as downtown Bronx, and it's not the projects anymore. Actually, it's called Morrison and Air Rights, even those weren't built the way the other ones look. No one was gonna buy them. And I already heard how NYCHA literally has already announced that certain percentage of the so-called New York City houses, already buildings, will be managed by a private company. And I know what has happened in other boroughs besides the Bronx. And I said, oh my gosh, I want to buy this apartment, or I should say this condo, for my mom. In 24 months, the world changes there. And then when this happened, I'm like, wait a minute. Like right now, on my mom's card, you have one of those cards, right? I suggest, it's not a business card, is it? But you can pay business, you can take care of business.
It's a debit card. It's great. Love it.
She has more on that card than I do right now. And I'm doing it for her. That's going to pay for her bills this month. And she's not used to it because she's on the budget. Last month when I paid for the cable bill, she was uncomfortable because she's used to writing this check 3 days before the first to send them all out. And she didn't have to write that one. Not much done. You sure? Yeah. Little does you know what's going to happen this month. Those are the pleasant surprises that we get a chance to do when you have another stream of income and not over expenditures like many of us have done. I was probably one of the world's greatest at wasting money. I know how to waste money. I earned it and I got rid of it pretty fast. And the reason was because my association with money was not positive at all, guys. And to remind me, or I should say, to reiterate or to confirm it, when I didn't have it, people treated me worse. So now, instead of doing it the way I did it before, I will invest in my business, no question about it. But it's a different type of investment. I don't have to buy people's friendship, because I was doing that by accident in many respects. Leaders with good intentions have done that, guys, because most of the people that we learned from were the ones that paid the dinner bill. And other people used to tell us, don't you notice no one even reaches to try to pay the tip? And then you start seeing people who do pay. I remember thanking people when they paid for their own food. And I thought that was crazy. When I thought about it, I said, oh my God, I didn't even know that I had a codependent relationship with a whole bunch of people and it wasn't good. I remember when you came back from Europe with your credit card with your image on there. I was like, wait a second, how the heck do you have your picture on it? It was so cool. America still doesn't have that, you know? I was like, and you took me to dinner. You were so proud, and I was so proud of you because you actually took that action. And that day, it's like I got smacked in my face really, really hard. And I said, here is this guy who I've probably done less for most people that have been in my inner circle. And here he comes doing what he did, when during that time, the people that were making 5 figures a month on operations that I gave them weren't returning my phone calls. So it made me really appreciate you even more so. And here we are now. Guys, what I want to say is that everything happens for a reason and purpose. And there is a thing such as Godspeed, and it's happening right now as we speak. You know, you look young. I know you're dyeing your hair gray, but, you know.
That's natural, but yeah.
Hey, if I let mine come out, it's all gray here. Not much up here. Not much, but now a little more than ever. And I don't care, guys, you know. With hair, without hair, doesn't really matter to me. If I care about
let me tell you this, though. With this was before the oxygenics thing. This was the stress.
Yeah.
This was all stress related, to be very honest with you. I mean, prior to all this pandemic nonsense, I was having issues with my son and all, and it's just, you know, again. But I feel like as if during this time, since I've been on the isogenesis, that it's definitely a slowdown. It's got a little less, which is, you know, and it's actually, I would say, coming in well than, you know, before. It's coming in. I like to mix the salt and pepperness of it, but yeah. Stress can do this to you, man.
Hey, just for the sake of history, pose. I'm gonna take a picture, okay?
Pose?
Yeah, I'm not only strike a pose. I don't mean Madonna here. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna take a photo of this. All right, hold on a second. All right, good enough. I want to document. I think one of the things that weren't done enough, and you can attest to it, I believe, years ago, was documenting things. I have more than most that people have shared with me. But guys, if you're watching this and you happen to have any videos on Mullero or myself, please share it, man, because to see 1990s footage was so cool. To see any year footage is so cool. And that's why I probably documented more than most in recent years, because they say that if a picture's worth 1,000 words, what's a video worth? You know, there was a time where I had 5,000 videos on the YouTube channel. They got wiped away because I shared 3 Tony Robbins videos that had copyrights when he was doing a reality show. I didn't even realize that. And I lost all 5,000. They'll never be happy. All of my children, excluding BJ, when they were born, I took those mini TVs, put them inside there, and that's where they lived. So most of them are gone forever. My point is that the more you document, the more you investigate, the more you document. You know, just use technology to your advantage. How many of our friends refuse to turn around and start using Zoom to teach classes? It was hard enough using Zoom. Imagine without. Crazy. Yeah. All right, sir. I really appreciate you. Simone didn't get on, but that's okay. I guess the lesson of the day was this, guys. Some will, so what?
Some will, some won't, so what?
Some won't, some what? I learned that from Carlos Blanco, legendary network marketer. And he also said this, and this is interesting, guys. I want you to hear this. He says, those who you think will, won't. Those who you think won't, will. Those who you think can't, can. And those who you think can, can't. It's just the way it is. You know, it's the opposite of what you think. So when people say, oh man, I know this person because I know a lot of people, it has nothing to do with a success ratio. All it is spreading the proper energy. And the law of attraction and action really does work here more than anywhere else. And when we spread love, we get a chance to reap those rewards of having that love multiply. On that note, I want to thank you. I appreciate you. When I say AB, I think you know what to say. AB.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
We out of here. Thank you very much. Drive safe. God bless.
Thank you. God bless you.